I went in for an annual mammogram at 42 years old, and I thought it was going to be just like any other mammogram. And I felt like something was off because I had more pain in one side than I normally do. Well, then a week later, I got a phone call from a nursing assistant, and she said, you know, they need more pictures. They just didn't had an issue with the technology. I don't know what's up. Like, I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably nothing. About 3 days later, I got a phone call, and I was picking up my daughter from daycare, and I was getting ready to take her to the dentist. And the radiologist calls me, and he says, can you talk? I'm like, well, obviously I can talk. I want to know what these results mean. And he says, unfortunately, we have, it's cancer. You think the worst case scenario when you get diagnosed with breast cancer, you just hear the word cancer and you literally feel like you're frozen in time. I didn't even think twice about it. I kind of just said, okay, I'm going to do this. I have realized just from experiencing something so traumatic how every relationship you have is very important, and how every person that you have in your circle should be invested in. And I think for me, the lesson that I like to share with people is, again, that how precious life is, and how we are not guaranteed to have tomorrow, and that we really have to live every single day as if it's our last. And that means that you are 100% yourself, and you're honest, and you're authentic, and you are you find ways to serve other people. And for me, I just want to leave that kind of legacy for my kids, is that mom never gave up, mom just kept going, and that I want them to say, I want to do what my mom did. I want to keep fighting, and I want to keep saying, here, advocating for what's right. But my priorities immediately became very clear. And they were, you have to really live every single day. You can't just take every day for granted, because you really truly don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. And that to me was really a shift. And everything now that I invest my time in, all the work that I do, all of the stuff that I do with my children and my family, it needs to be fulfilling. And if it's not fulfilling, it's not for me. What's great is that the amount of times that I get to share my story about being a survivor, and then hearing somebody message me or reading their message or saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing. So, and I think for me, that's how I want to give back, is I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to fight this and move through it, and all the lessons I've learned, but also being able to be there for other survivors who feel like they're alone. You think you do all the right things, but that just goes to show you that breast cancer doesn't discriminate.